Welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right into it. Today we're exploring this incredibly fascinating disconnect between the dogs we admire on our screens and the ones we actually bring into our homes. We often think that what's trending online perfectly mirrors what's happening out in the real world, but as we're about to see, when it comes to our canine companions, our digital dreams are telling a very, very different story from our daily reality.
But before we even look at the data, I want you to honestly ask yourself, based on everything you scroll past online, what do you think is the absolute #1 dog breed right now? You probably have a very specific picture in your head, but hold on to that thought, because the actual answer depends entirely on where you happen to be looking.
Well, the data reveals a massive paradox. Depending on whether we look at Google searches, TikTok trends, or actual home registries, we find entirely different winners. On one side, we have these highly aspirational, super intelligent working dogs dominating our search bars. But on the flip side, the dogs actually being registered and brought into homes are vastly different. It's this complete split between what we love to look at and what we actually choose to live with.
We're literally dealing with two completely different worlds here. You've got the aspirational digital dog, the one that demands constant stimulation, contrasted really heavily with the practical urban dog that, frankly, just needs to be compact. On our screens, we love watching high-energy dogs running through vast fields or doing crazy tricks. But in reality, most of us are commuting to offices and living in apartments, and this clash between our digital aspirations and our urban reality is completely reshaping the pet landscape.
Section 1. Internet's Top Dog Fantasy. Okay, so check out the data funnel here. It starts super wide with 15.2 million global searches for high-energy breeds like the Border Collie, which totally represents our digital fantasy. Across Europe and in Google searches, the Border Collie is absolute king. But as the funnel narrows through the very real limitations of our time and space, the actual purchase decisions at the very end look a lot more like French bulldogs and poodles.
If you look at the radar charts, the extreme demands become pretty obvious. Both the Border Collie, which is Google's #1, and the Golden Retriever, TikTok's absolute star, max out on requiring incredibly high levels of energy, space, and daily dedication. The Border Collie maxes out on intelligence and the need for training connection, while the Golden Retriever maxes out on noble character and flawless on-camera aesthetics. But both of these internet darlings require massive amounts of outdoor space.
So the breakdown here is absolutely crucial. The high-energy field dogs we admire online simply don't fit into our modern micro-apartments. While a Border Collie really requires a countryside habitat, highly adaptable breeds like the French Bulldog thrive in urban cafes. The dogs scoring the highest in portability and adaptability are the ones actually fitting into our flexible living situations today.
Section 2. The Urban Reality Check.
Get this, for 31 consecutive years, the familiar, super active Labrador Retriever was the undeniable king of dog breeds in the US. It was literally the ultimate symbol of the active family with a big backyard. But an incredible cultural shift officially dethroned it in 2022. The French Bulldog overtook the Lab, and according to the latest official registries for 2025, it has held on to that #1 spot for 4 consecutive years now. And that historical shift is driven entirely by this single number, 58%. That's right, 58% of modern dog owners now prioritize the physical size of the dog above all else due to post-pandemic compact living. When people are choosing a breed today, they aren't primarily looking at hunting ability or guarding instincts, they're looking at a tape measure. Our heavily urbanized lifestyles demand pets that can actually fit into our limited square footage. Our living space is basically acting as a massive filter. Our search queries might start all the way over on the right with these sprawling German Shepherds, but they get aggressively filtered through our actual square footage, landing us firmly on the compact left side of the scale. Moving from micro-urban spaces to wide-open areas dictates exactly who comes out on top.
Because of this exact reality, the French Bulldog and the Dachshund have absolutely skyrocketed. Their main benefits, compact size and portability, make them the definitive companions for city life. The Dachshund, for instance, went from a relatively niche breed to a massive viral phenomenon among Gen Z and millennials, purely because it is the ideal, highly portable travel companion for pet-friendly cafes and urban transit.
Now, it's not the exact same story everywhere. If we look at Spain-specific data, for example, we see this atypical podium where the elegant English setter takes the #1 spot for actual registries. This diverges from the US norm, showing a local preference for a dog that combines majestic aesthetics with high energy. However, even in Spain, the highly versatile poodle and the compact Dachshund confidently take the second and third spots.
Section 3.
viral trends and ethics. So, social media has heavily popularized the Golden Shepherd. It's a crossbreed essentially designed for maximum virality, combining the aesthetics of the Golden Retriever with the loyalty of the German Shepherd. But professionals are warning that this aesthetic math often ignores genetic stability and animal welfare. The obsession with fusing the benefits of different breeds purely for screen appeal has sparked some really intense debate about the health implications for these trending designer dogs.
But it's not just crossbreeds. Purebreds like the miniature poodle have become a massive upward trend as people actively seek out highly adaptable, smaller companions that still look fantastic on camera. According to specialized portals, this breed is experiencing the highest upward trend in 2025. They offer that perfect middle ground, the intelligence and aesthetic appeal demanded by the internet, combined with the compact size required by modern urban living.
But popularity definitely doesn't guarantee easy care. These highly sought-after breeds often come with severe health and behavioral challenges. Dachshunds face serious spinal issues. French bulldogs battle chronic respiratory complications. And working dogs like the Belgian Malinois and Border Collie require exhaustive mental and physical stimulation just to prevent severe behavioral problems.
We're actually witnessing a massive cultural turning point right now. Society is actively beginning to reject brachycephalic or flat-faced dogs due to their chronic suffering. You can see how dogs with high genetic medical risks are being increasingly scrutinized. The data notes a growing ethical rejection of breeds that suffer from severe health issues just to maintain a certain look, which is absolutely expected to reshape the rankings in the coming years.
To put that into perspective, market data projects that an overwhelming 70% of owners will now actively prioritize tangible health and wellness benefits when choosing products and breeding practices for their pets. This is a powerful indicator that the tide is turning. We are moving away from choosing dogs based solely on viral aesthetics and moving toward a deeper consciousness regarding the actual physical well-being of the animal.
Section 4. The future of adoption. The practical reality is clearly winning out in the adoption numbers. We're looking at 1.9 million adoptions recorded in the U.S. in the first half of 2025 alone, alongside a very noticeable 6% spike in the adoption of smaller dogs that fit our modern spaces. This pretty much confirms everything we've been looking at today. When it finally comes time to sign the paperwork, people are making practical choices tailored to their actual living environments. Ultimately, it all comes down to the stark difference between double-tapping a digital heart on a screen and actually buckling a collar around a real dog's neck. The true trend in dog ownership isn't about the most Googled breed. It's about honesty. To sum it all up, the truest form of animal welfare is choosing the reality of a dog's daily needs over its viral aesthetic. As the source material so eloquently puts it, loving a dog requires us to look past the social media filters and the trending hashtags and instead look at the real breathing animal that depends on us entirely. Which leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question to ask before you bring a new best friend home. Does your actual everyday lifestyle genuinely match your dream dog, or are you just falling for an internet fantasy? The answer to that might just change both your lives.